I'll just tell you guys a little bit about how this modality of the Akashic records that I have downloaded, I've channeled, that I do with individuals, and I also do with groups, and that's what we're doing here today is a group channeled transmission. So basically, I open the records with an invocation. That is something that came through to me with spirit, from spirit, and I do the invocation. A question is offered, and a part of the invocation actually is the participation of those who offer the question, and Carson's going to walk us through that. And after the question, then I channel the answer from what Carson's going to describe and explain, the Council of Light. So here, I'm actually going to pop off the screen, or I'm going to go down into the corner there. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm also going to mute you so I can do the invocation. I'm not going to do the full invocation here on the feed, but we're going to do a part of it. Carson's going to lead together. So I'm going to turn my volume down.
Let me make you small.
Thank you.
We'll switch this. So you will see her in the bottom corner reciting the invocation while I talk to you a little bit about what's going on. So this is a collective Akashic record reading. For anyone who isn't familiar, the Akashic field is a subtle layer of the quantum field, often described as an energetic library, database, archive, and that records everything: our thoughts, words, actions, intentions. But it doesn't just hold the past, it carries the seeds of possible futures, patterns that connect across lifetimes, parallel realities, so all choices across space and time. And when we open the records, we're tuning into that subtle layer of wisdom and resonance. So the guidance today that Tricia will be channeling through will come through the Akashic Council of Light, also known as the Divine Council of Light. They don't show up as individual personalities with names. Instead, they remain anonymous, functioning more like a collective stream of wisdom and frequency. Their purpose is to bring through guidance and energy in a way that connects you, the collective, or you personally, if you're getting a personal reading, with your own soul and truth, without putting the focus on who they are. So it's about you. And anyone in any collective question will be able to tune in to what feels like is speaking to them, what is helpful for them, which is what makes it so wonderful and holistically healing. So we will see if she is still reciting. She's ready to come back. Okay. This decree I am going to recite aloud 3 times, and I invite all of you to recite it in your head, to just open your heart and connect, to hold the intention for healing, or to recite it out loud with me, should you want. We open our hearts in complete trust in divine light. We decree our divine right to receive truth, wisdom, and knowledge. We open our hearts in complete trust in divine light. We decree our divine right to receive truth, wisdom, and knowledge. We open our heart in complete trust in divine light. We decree our divine right to receive truth, wisdom, and knowledge. I'm going to paste the question right here so that I can pin it. And I will remove.
And so flows forth divine light. This Akashic transmission is open. What is the highest potential future that can emerge from the current waves of anger and disruption? And what practical steps are needed to help bring that future into being? Thank you, one and all, who have opened your hearts, who have claimed your right to assume that which is the highest benefit for yourselves and for all concerned. We stand in awe of you. Those of you who come to this transmission, it is by your power, by your heart, by your truth and your authorship that this transmission flows through clearly and cleanly. Now, we would like to first offer to you a soothing to your hearts. We would like to first offer this to you because as you have your eyes open and as you have eyes to see, you also have a heart to discern. And this heart has been heavily burdened with too much, shall we frame it this way, compassion. Oh, can the heart have too much compassion? Yes, it can, in a manner of speaking. The heart can accumulate too much compassion as it is, in a sense, not really allowing compassion to do its full work before it can move on to collect more compassion. So, compassion. Compassion is the ability to recognize the suffering of another and to take action to alleviate that suffering. Now, it is all the facility of capacity to hold that awareness of the suffering and to take the action. Both buckets must be sufficiently held in the right alignment. So you see, there is much suffering occurring. There is much to see, much to hold in the heart as suffering. The other portion of this is the capacity to also take action to alleviate the suffering. This is where your dynamic use of your free will is being called into action, because the action is not simply paying dollars or having conversations. While these may be very powerful and strong and necessary, yes, having conversations and paying dollars and doing your voting and walking on your streets and holding your signs and having your hearts open to help others to hold their hearts open. This is all a part of the action. And this last piece that we bring to your awareness, having your heart open so others can have their hearts open, having this attenuation, always being flexible about how open your heart is to allow others to open their hearts. Now, this action is also the action of your prayer, of your energy visioning and creation, of calling up energy into a certain form and releasing it and trusting that energy knows how to do what it knows how to do. And love is the only power, as was set in the tone of this transmission, this podcast. And so we ask you that you are aware of how much of the suffering you are consuming and allowing the processing of it to occur through the second portion of compassion, which is to take action to alleviate suffering. So let us give you a lesson in prayer. Prayer is not about begging. Prayer is about holding an authentic and sovereign energy within you and trusting that your occupation in that sovereign energy is impacting and affecting it in the Akashic field, in the field of the existence of all that is. So you must align with it as your manifestation teachings have been telling you, those who come here, you are in your manifestation teaching. You understand that you attract what you are, as it's always said. But we would like to even just say you see what you are. You manifest what you are. You live in the world that you are. And this isn't given as a way to reprimand or to punish, blame, or shame. In fact, we give it to you in awe of who you are, that you are standing sovereign, holding the view of so much suffering and difficulty, and yet asking a question such as you have. What is the highest benefit of this? How is this transmuting? How is this becoming something greater? For I hold the awareness of that which is the greatest for all, that every heart is soothed, that every mouth is fed, and that everyone is fully expressed in who they are, so that we come together as a beautiful tapestry that nature has intended, that the cosmos have dispatched, because nature and spirit makes no mistakes. You hold this in your awareness, and we ask you to charge this up, this second bucket of compassion's duty, which is to have the awareness of the suffering and to take the action. Your action is your prayer. This is something you must be taking your time, if you will, the resource of that, of how you spend your life force, spending it, yes, spending it in time, spending it in money. Yes, be in awareness of this and allow yourself to hold a dual consciousness. We understand that you have duties. We understand you have responsibilities. Allow that to be held up in the energy of your prayerful life. Be a walking prayer, which is to hold the sovereign energy of how this, even this, yes, even this suffering is being transmuted into that which is its truth, because the only truth is love. And this truth of this universe, this frequency, the fabric of holding all that is, this Akashic field, is whole. And whole means that it's connected. It means that it is love. How could I possibly hate my arm? For it is me. It isn't even possible to hate my arm, because hate cannot occur within a true holistic chamber. And that is what you have. And so please hold a prayerful life. This may require that you spend concentrated times finding your way all the way back to where there is the nothing and the all, the primordial Om, the source of all that is within you. You hold a piece of that in order for there to be a source, in order for there to be a creator, or a prime creator, in order for there to be a God, is that you are also a piece of this. You hold the spark of this. So attune this. Attune yourself to it and attune it up into your life. It looks like pure white light energy that has no name, no condition, no label. Find this within yourself. And from here, allow yourself to emerge into living as the prayer that hopes all things, loves all things, and expects all things that are aligned with hope and love. This is how this gets transmuted. Not by one government agency or one person in power, or even the billions or trillions of dollars that are upsetting on a certain level of materialization. It all happens by the fabric of holding that piece that you do of the all that is, and allowing it to express itself in purity and in truth. And so what is this amounting to? As you see the great pain, you see the great suffering, as you see this, which is anger. Anger is a powerful force. Let us strip anger of how it has splashed onto your material world. The impact. Anger is not bad. Anger is not wrong. Anger is not incorrect, because how could anything be incorrect when everything is whole? So when anger occurs as a disruption, it is like a fire. It is like a volcano disrupting and demanding, commanding there to be a shift of the landscape. So as we recognize anger as a part of this process, giving it space to express and have its intention be witnessed. Anger wants to be witnessed. Now, first, this must be witnessed within you. We ask you not to try to repress anger or call it bad or wrong within yourself. You are responsible to your own anger. You have the ability to respond to your own anger and let it be present in the world. Let it first be present in your prayer. Yes, you can pray in anger if it is the truth of how you are existing in the moment. Let your anger be expressed. Now, you can do this through words. You can do this through some kind of physical or vocalized expression, or you can let yourself just be aware of it and let it spew out of you as energy of a volcano. Do this privately so that it can be a controlled burn. And then as you are able to hold yourself in a compassionate space to let your own anger be expressed and to honor it for what it is, why it is here, then you can extend this compassion to others. Then it will ripple out as you have expressed your anger, and now you are free and peaceful in your own energy. You can now hold space for another. And then this will be a rippling effect all throughout the Indra's net of your humanity, one human to another. Now, we would like to hold for you that as we speak to you individually, if you will take this as an individual message for you, as you do this, it must ripple out. What if it comes down to you making the choice to allow an unfolding in your prayer from anger to compassion? And that then you take this to your beloved and your child and your friend and your mother, your brother, your sister, your co-worker, your colleague, your client, your boss. You take this to each of the individuals in your life, and then it is taken on forward and forward and forward. This is the calling into a quantum reality. This is what you are asking for. And as we bring into this communication quantum reality, we bring in the principle of superposition. Superposition is to occupy many points of reality at one time. This is a natural unfolding for your reality. It has been for centuries, and it is even more so now. Take this moment right now. You are all occupying a space of reality together. Now, you may not be sitting physically next to one another where a physical hand can hold another physical hand, but for all intents and purposes, for all impact and impression and expression, you are all together in one reality. You are superpositioned in this moment. You can occupy many realities at once. As you give yourself that birthright, that existential truth, then you will find that you can occupy anger and compassion at once. You can occupy peace and war at once, so that you will soon be able to find yourself being shed of any utility of war. As you have used up the purpose of war, as you have learned the lesson of it, this is where we answer your question. You are moving to complete and profound peace. Now, even within peace, there are colors. There can be a palette that is dedicated to painting the picture of peace, and it will have dark tones and light tones. It will have midtones. It will have highs, lows, lefts, rights, all of the cardinal directions. And yet it doesn't need to have a picture, doesn't need to paint a picture of war. Can you see how this is a potential reality that already exists as a part of not just your quantum universe, but what you are already occupying as a superpositioning being? Yes, you hold a picture, a reality. You are currently occupying one that is peace, a sufficient peace, even as coming into this picture of peace, there are differences. Differences make the picture beautiful. And so, as this episode was kicked off to speak of different ways that we express, when it seems that your truth directly contradicts with my truth, we must understand that the through line here is that there is one truth, and that is that we are both here to connect and love one another and to create something that is of mutual benefit. So, if it is a truth within me and a truth within you, then they must want to create something new, a truth as though a heart expanding to hold all of it. This is what paradox is offering you. It is offering you new creation. So as you see peace and war, hold both of them as a true reality. For if you dismiss one as not being valid in any way, it simply is. War is. Pain is. Oppression is. As you hold that as an awareness while also occupying peace, clarity, and embracing all, not only embracing them in spite of their differences, but embracing them because of their differences, because difference makes a new reality. Waves and particles, light and dark, air and water. This is what makes transition, transmutation. So you are moving into, because of the profound manifestation of the suffering, the disruption, yes, and the pain. While you are holding this with your compassion, allowing your prayer to be the transmutation, the alchemical fire for this, you will soon have it as a memory, as the contrast of your picture of profound peace. Now, some of you may be wondering, how is this possible? They will be in a whole new paradigm of profound peace. Well, you will see a shift as you are doing your particular prayerful life. You will take yourself to this new reality that has put behind it war and the cataclysmic suffering and disregard of humanity and the way that you are seeing it. You will be lowering that tier out of your reality within 7 years, as you do your choosing of it through your prayer, through your aligning with it. And you will see it even more profoundly within 25 years of your time. So choose this now, as you can taste it just before you. Yes, there is a glorious timeline unfolding for you as you choose it now, as you recognize the power that you hold. We love you so much, and we stand in awe of you. And so it is. Hey, Carson, you can come on back if you like.
Within 7 years just made me emotional, excited, hopeful.
Yeah.
And I really loved the "you see what you are."
Mhm.
That was really beautiful. Thank you. And I love how it perfectly connected to the new segment and everything we are talking about.
Thank you so much. Oh, I need to close the records. Yes, I'll do that. I can do that on the as it is spoken, may it be perfected by the one light. Any blind spots surrendered to love and divine light. In gratitude and appreciation for it is done. This transmission is now closed. As it is spoken, and so it is. Amen.
You know, I had a bunch of different variations of this question, and I had to go back to my own Akashic record reading with you where I was stressed about the right one and what would be good. And I was like, last time you learned that it didn't matter what you asked, everything you needed got answered, because
Right.
that's how it works. And so I was like, whatever I choose, I will get this answered for
Yeah.
whatever people need. And it so did.
And because it's also it's like in a way it kind of seems like it doesn't matter what you choose, but it matters because you choose, because you say I have the right to ask the question. That's the interesting little tipping point. You know?
And even the question I didn't ask, the parts of it that I was really wanting got answered.
Okay, good. Yeah, it all
That's
gets
how it worked last time too.
Yeah, it all gets baked in somehow, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. We got some just to end this out. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kate. Well, all right. That was really awesome. Thank you so much for the amazing question. Carson channeled that question, tapping into the collective, and brought it through for all of us. I'm going to have to go back and listen because I actually don't totally remember already. But yeah, thank you so much for that. And I just encourage us all to listen back to it, because it's not just the words, it is the words, but it's also the energy that comes through in it. Maybe take notes, or maybe I'll even put some notes down in there, because there's usually practical. There was some practical stuff in there, right?
There's a lot of practical stuff in there. I really loved the part about coming together to create a new reality, because it's something new. It's your thought, your truth, my truth. Wants to connect. And that was big. There was a lot of practical stuff in there, but even if you're not listening to the practical stuff, like you said, it's an energy adjustment, transmission, attunement. And I often just like let it just wash over me like water and imagine light pouring in, and that can be just as effective.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. So you know what I think I'll do is I'll like kind of put down get the summary of it, and even like take down the little bit of a the practical stuff, and kind of like spell it out, and maybe I'll make it as a download that you guys can. So come back later, and we'll also have a segment of this as a video separately. So if you want to get that, thanks, Jason. If you want to get that PDF later, just come back to this and join the newsletter too, so you can see it there. So awesome.
Beautiful offering. Thank you. I know I will definitely come back to it.
Thank you.